Good morning. Started packing up my hack job of a hang from last night, but I literally threw this up in the dark. Some negative conditions, and but had a decent night's sleep overall. But what's killed us, all of this is just mud everywhere. Last night was just, it was time to get off the river, and so we pulled him up here, which was clearly not an ideal spot, but it got us off the river, which is what we needed. So we're gonna get packed up, have some breakfast, get on. Good times. Good. Famous last words. I don't know if you can see, but that's the bank we just went up to camp on. That was not as much fun as I was hoping for. We got it done. All right, beginning of day 5. We had a very long mileage day yesterday, and not intentionally. I think we got off the river about 8, which doesn't sound very late, but it gets dark around then. So we made it work. But a big chunk of the trip got cut off yesterday. But for the first time, boys, all day, no portages. Unless we can't find camp, right? But we're going to try to get another chunk of miles done today. But just another beautiful morning. You know, even though the campsite was probably not something we would have normally chosen, it still had a very pretty view. And we've been blessed with some good weather so far. So, it can always be worse, right? We're going to get on down the river. Good times. Beautiful. Well, it's about 1:30, and just had about the most amazing lunch stop I've had in a while. But we're here in Carbonton. That's Highway 42 behind me. And stopped and went into a gas station just up the road. They had Hunt Brothers Pizza, which, if you know what Hunt Brothers Pizza is, it's the creme de la creme of gas station pizza. But don't judge until you've tried it, trust me. But anyways, Had a good lunch stop there, and we're gonna try to get a couple more handfuls of miles in, and then find the best campsite of the trip. Ever.
Best one ever!
But it's gonna be like 8:30 before we get there.
We ride!
Good times. You know, I haven't been doing a whole lot of narrating on this trip just because I just kind of have to feel like there's something on my mind in order to say something.
Yep.
But we were talking about the fact that we might be, if not the first, one of the first.
At least the first known.
The first known to paddle this entire river all at once. And we're kind of seeing the reason that it's not.
You need to record that. Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Oh, start that over again. But you're just talking to me.
Cut.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, for
Pete,
sure.
you're wrecking it, man. Come on.
This is all going in there.
Well, as long as I'm messing up the video. Hey, folks, Austin is a beacon of enlightenment on these rivers. It's always good to have around. Sorry I messed up your monologue. I thought he was talking to me. No, he's talking to you guys. So listen up.
Good times. No, but we were looking at or we were experiencing why this hasn't been a very heavily kayak camped river, because we went probably a solid 15 miles without seeing anything remotely resembling a campsite. Just super high banks, steep, no landings on the bottom. But it's really, other than the no camping, is an awesome river to paddle. It's got just about everything. But I wouldn't mind just a couple extra inches of water for this trip. But the thing that we've kind of been noticing since the beginning is this mud line. I don't know if it'll come up in the on the camera or not, but we had some heavy rains last week, and so that's a good thing for us, because before that the river was super low. But the mud line from that high water is a solid 20 feet above our heads probably, and it's humbling to think what this river looks like with 20 feet of water over our heads. The terrain has been changing today to more hospitable camping, so we're not necessarily going to take the first thing that we see right now, because it's still pretty early. But no, I mean, there's like, there is a, well, no, those are all dead trees, never mind. But yeah, the options are getting a little better, so we're just gonna keep paddling, soak in the day, and maybe have some good times. Bump it. Can't go that way. Might have to tow it on this one. Good. He said do it just right. Have you ever had one of those moments in life where you think to yourself, well, I done messed this one up pretty good? Well, this was one of those moments for me. Let's take a minute though to talk about this one, because there's certainly a lesson to be learned here. As Pete said in his video, there's nothing more dangerous than being flushed through a tree on a river. The short version of this story was that I should have taken the time to get out of my boat and pull it around this hazard safely and be on my way. I saw the hazard, recognized the danger, but did it anyway.
You chose poorly.
What had happened was that
I watched 3 of my good friends navigate this hazard first. While I hadn't been the poster child for a good kayaking technique, we were 5 days into a 7-day trip, and I felt like I knew myself, and I knew my boat well enough to manage it. As I entered the chute, you can see that I'm giving lots of input on the right side, trying to slow down my forward momentum. Right here is where the left forward strokes should have come in and kept my boat turning to the right and follow the current down the side of the log. What you can see though is that I pull off what's known as a G.I. Joe maneuver and simply let the river do whatever it wanted with me. With my lack of aggressive input, the inevitable happened and I found myself pinned against the log. Well, I knew I was in a bad spot. At this point I still felt like this was something I could recover from. My plan was to edge my boat against the current and slowly push myself down the log. As you can see, we weren't dealing with a super strong current, but I learned that day not to underestimate the river, no matter how gentle she looks. Within a second of making contact with the log, I could slowly feel my boat being pulled underwater, despite all of my efforts to maintain control with my upstream edge. At this point, I knew I had lost control, and the reality was setting in that I was in a situation that all river runners will tell you to avoid at all costs. The list of things that can go wrong in a scenario like this is very long. My boat could have gotten pinned underwater with me in it, and I wouldn't have been able to pop my skirt into a wet exit. I could have gotten tangled in branches underwater, all while fighting this seemingly gentle current that had pushed my 14.5-foot loaded kayak underwater like it was a bath toy. With all this in mind, I made the decision to tuck and go for a ride, knowing that I was losing the fight to stay upright. I'm a firm believer that everyone has a day when they're destined to meet the big guy upstairs. But today wasn't that day for me. Miraculously, there was nothing to keep the boat or me underwater, and both of us flushed right under the log and into free-flowing water. The situation resolved itself nearly as quickly as it had begun, but it was a sobering moment, with everyone in the group knowing that we had gotten away with one today. So let's just watch everything again in real time, just to get an appreciation for how quickly things can go south, and how good decisions on the front end can prevent potentially catastrophic consequences.
Grab my paddle. Now that was a swimmer. I had the log and I was trying to lean up and I was just like,
You looked at me like,
uh-oh.
I knew that it was
Like there was plenty of room to flush out.
If you're gonna be a swimmer, let's do it right. Let's go under a log, holy sweet molasses.
There you go. Peace. Well, we're running into a recurring theme for this trip of campsite hunting, and this whole riverbed is just 10-15 foot banks on both sides, and it's just been like that for at least the last 2 nights. So we're about a half mile from 421, US 421 bridge, and that's kind of just a benchmark. It really doesn't mean anything as far as camping goes. We don't want to be too close to it, but the problem that we're running into is that the rain came last week. Obviously you can see lots of water came through here, so the banks are super slick with mud. So even if we have a spot that we can possibly walk up, it's just like trying to walk up a slip and slide. Like it just doesn't work. So we're trying to find something that might work. We'll see. Still 5:30, we've still got time. But we're into that, like, let's find a campsite mode. So we'll see. Good times. Well, it looks like we've actually got 11 portages on this trip. We're coming up to the bridge at 421, and there is a river-wide log jam. So we're gonna have to get out and figure out a way around it, I guess. Good times. Sorta. You're gonna have to push it over some logs, but it's a lot easier than doing that. It looks like some good deep dauber. You're gonna swim. Yep. Hang on, let me see if I can get rid of this log. She's coming.
Try to move that way.
There you go. I'll start pulling from this end. I'm gonna aim for this shallow water on the other side. Now that just ain't right. That ain't right at all. Yeah, let Austin and Dauber do all the work.
Portage number 11.
Well, when you hang out with the River Kings, sometimes it really just kind of pays off. There's not many people that you can just call to show up at a random bridge on a, whatever it is, Tuesday night, Wednesday night?
Wednesday night.
With Burger King for 4. So,
And Thursday morning with Biscuitville for 4.
yeah, he's coming back with breakfast. So we're gonna soak that in. Big shout out to Josh, Turtlehead
You can always
Josh,
count on Josh.
for sure. Big thank you, man. Very good times. Well, once again, we set up in the dark, but our campsite tonight is light years better than the one we had last night. We're just up a little bit from, I can't even remember the name of it, Camel something bridge, but another 20-something mile day today. So we're knocking off the miles. But for the first time since we started, no portages. We're getting set up now, and there's really not much to show because I don't have a night vision to show you, but I'll show you camp in the morning, and we'll have another beautiful day on the river. See you in the morning. Good times. day, I guess this is is this day 6? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, today's day 6. Yeah, so day 6. Could not have started off any better. So, Turtlehead Josh, same guy that brought us dinner last night, met us at the bridge again this morning with Biscuitville. Like, dude, you're awesome. So that started it off pretty good. So, another beautiful day on the river, and there's the possibility that we might be doing our final portage today. The dam in Moncure is up a couple handfuls of miles ahead. So that's our last real big obstacle for this trip. So it feels good to at least have that. It'll feel good to have it behind us, but not looking forward to that portage at all. But just taking in the morning, and we had a 23 to 25-ish mile day yesterday, depending on whose GPS you ask. So probably looking at something around that for today. We'll see. Tonight, we're gonna find the best campsite in the world. It's gonna happen. I just feel it. Because the camping has not been great so far. But tonight, it's gonna be different. We're gonna find that perfect campsite at like 5:30 at the latest.
It's like 3. And fish and swim and tell stories.
Yeah. It's still been good times. folks, it's 2:20 and we're on a River Kings kayak camping trip and we're making camp
Oh yeah.
at 2:20 p.m. not a.m. That would be more believable.
Fine, sir. This is what's called Hubbard time.
Oh,
We're on Hubbard time now, baby. This one's for you, Brian.
River King Brian, we're missing you
Just
for
like
sure.
the French Broad, right before Section 9.
But there's a very good reason that we're stopping at 2:20 p.m. It's because this is a honey of a spot. Oh, Carnage Camp. Carnage Camp.
Carnage cam was on.
But we don't have that much farther to go, to be completely honest. Probably like 8 miles,
Yeah.
give or take. We've got a little more mank that we'll have to deal with tomorrow, plus the portage at the dam. But we've got plenty of time. So this is a perfect place to camp, so this is where we're gonna camp.
This is the first perfect place to camp we've seen
Since the
in
beginning.
70,
Yeah.
no, 83 miles.
Yeah. It's been a minute. It has been a minute since we've seen a decent camping spot. So we're gonna get set up. Good times. Oh, taking forever.
It's gonna be like dark again. 1, 2, 3.
We're up. Watch yourself. Ain't no winner making no more. What a magnificent day. Got off the water pretty early, but still got in a fair amount of miles. But we just found this honey of a spot right above the Moncure Dam. And just been taking it easy. For once on this trip, we are taking it easy. And we've been working our tails off for the last 6 days, and I don't think any of us were really looking forward to another Suckfest campsite. And this was pretty much, I think, what all of us needed. It's just some time to chill. Not trying to make miles, not trying to search for a campsite, not trying to rustle boats over a dam. Just chill out, enjoy each other's company, enjoy what we're into, and enjoy what we're surrounded by. So we're gonna have a nice chill evening. Probably have a campfire, some dinner, and then tomorrow we're gonna get up, and unfortunately we're gonna finish this trip. It has been everything that I had hoped for and just a little more. So it's been a great trip. It's not over yet.
see you in the morning. Good times.
You can rope right horn, left horn, or you rope both horns at the same time. The Honda will hit the steer in the back of the head, and when you let go of the rope, the Honda will hit the steer in the back of the head, and you just see that whole load go around.
Nice.
The Honda lead out right there, and see you can feed it, make it bigger. See, I can roll it out, suck fat, get it all out. That was close. There you go. Now that's all right there. Rope through it, not at it. Oh, look.
I didn't. Yeah.
But when you throw, you got to throw through it, not at it.
Okay.
Throw it through it, not at it. There you go. Got it.
What are you talking about?
Ledges and stuff, I just wasn't real keen on. I had flipped it. Okay.
You ever try to turn off the flare?
Did you say somebody stuck in there?
They sure did, bro. That's the fun.
Well, good morning. Beginning of day 7, and our last day on the river. It's been a very bittersweet morning. Woke up this morning and just laid in the hammock, just taking in the sounds and the smells and the sights. It's about as close to a zen moment as I could possibly hope for. But we're back on the river for just a little bit. Made our way through the last of this rock garden. It's actually pretty long. It's like half a mile long rock garden. We've got the dam right around the corner. It's our last major obstacle for the trip. And then some mank below the dam that'll probably be a little worse than this. And then smooth sailing out to Mermaid Point, join up with the Cape Fear River. And the boat ramp shortly after that. So it has been one heck of a trip. This was worth, you know, they always say, is the juice worth the squeeze? The juice was worth the squeeze on this trip. It's one of those that probably won't ever do again. So this was the time to do it if we're going to do it. So. All right, let's get on the river. Good times. That was a little less painful than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Take this. Take this.
Amazing what a little water can do. And it looked good. Oh yeah! One whip. Oh boy, we're committed now. Up, up, up.
Yeah, get up over.
Well, we're not quite done with this trip yet, but we are done with the Deep River. We're at Mermaid Point, which is the confluence of the Haw and the Deep River. And then from here on all the way to the coast, it's the Cape Fear River. So pretty cool, pretty cool. This is my third river that I have paddled in its entirety. And even though there's still river to paddle here, this is the end of the Deep River on a map. There is still some type of connection that you kind of feel with a river when you paddle the whole thing. And so it's pretty special, pretty special. Even though there's nothing terribly picturesque about this spot, it's just two big muddy rivers coming together. It feels good. We got a few more miles to paddle to Avon Ferry boat ramp. We'll take out just a little bit above Buckhorn Dam. And then that will be that. Bittersweet to be coming to the end, but what a trip. Very good times.
On your mark, get set, go!
Oh, my back! Oh, that's not working. Oh. Well, that didn't last long. I pulled something. Oh, that didn't feel good at all. All right, everybody. The finish line is in sight. Avon Ferry boat ramp. On the map, it said 115 miles. I think we're closer, probably 125, give or take. I don't know, we'll check. 123 and a half is what Pete's GPS says. I like that better than 115. Wow. This river has had everything. But we're not done yet. Got another 100 yards or so. Get out of the boat and let's go get a burger. Very good times.
I found that I always seem to have a mix of conflicting emotions at the end of any big trip. Anxious but peaceful. Excited that the trip is coming to a close, but disappointed that it's over. Exhausted and yet rejuvenated. This river had it all and then some. She tested our resolve more often than not, but what we received in return was worth every drop of sweat. And as the river faded into the rearview mirror, my favorite question found its way into the conversation once again. What's next?
Even if we had it up, we could